Hello, welcome back to my kitchen. I'm Velmore. Today I'm going to be continuing my journey through the D&D Cookbook Heroes Feast. There's always something great about a hot soup, especially here in Pittsburgh in December. Today I'm going to be making Castle Amber onion soup. Let's get started. So this recipe is going to include onions and thyme, as well as a garlic cheesy baguette. So I'm going to soften the onions in the pot with some salt, and then I'm going to reduce the heat and let them caramelize for about an hour and a half. So Castle Amber, or Chateau d'Amberville, is a D&D module released in 1981. It has a lot of strong French themes and takes place on the planet of Mystara. The castle was cursed by a member of the family after the other members of the family murdered him. The d'Ambervilles were famous for their elaborate parties and banquets, and this onion soup would have been the traditional first course. And now that the onions are a sticky consistency, I'm just going to continue cooking with a little bit of water and just let that darken up a bit more. So now that that's cooked down and darkened up, I'm going to add some flour and I put the thyme in. And now that that has thickened up, I'm going to add the sherry and deglaze with that. After letting that cook down for a few minutes, I'm now going to add chicken broth, beef broth, and I'm going to let that simmer for about 30 minutes. So I'm going to slice up some baguette that I'm going to put in the oven to crisp up and use as a garnish for the soup. So I've toasted up the bread in the oven here. I'm just going to prepare it to be broiled to melt this cheese. So I'm just going to rub it with some garlic and put some cheese on top of it. And I'm just going to broil that for a few minutes and get the cheese bubbling. And now that that's simmered a bit, I'm just going to add the final touches of seasoning. A little bit of butter, a little bit more salt, and some pepper. So that was another great dish. It was rich, it was flavorful, definitely a warm, filling meal in the middle of winter. I highly recommend paying close attention to your toasties when you put them in the broiler. Mine got a little dark around the edges, a little burnt. I would say if you're looking at this dish and you're not looking forward to chopping 6 pounds or 4 pounds of onions, you definitely want to look into getting the mandolin slicer. Really cuts down time, makes sure everything's nice and uniform. I hope you enjoy. You can follow me on Instagram or Twitter at chef_Velmore. Like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Coming back next week for another recipe.